What's going on YouTube? Charlie Eugene back with another video. I am late to the party, guys. I'm just now getting to my review of the MacBook Neo. Just got this about 5 days ago. I think I got it like last Thursday. So I've had 5 days to fool with this device, and I honestly like it, man. I have few complaints, and some of it is just, well, actually it's just one thing that I don't like about this laptop, which I'll get into later in the video. I want to talk about all the things I do like about it. And like I said, I'm late to the party. There's been plenty of content creators making videos about the Neo. But I want to, this is Charlie Eugene's channel. I want to give you guys my opinion and experience with it thus far, all right? So first and foremost, the Neo. Everybody talks about the build quality, and they're not lying to you. Feels just like any other Apple MacBook on the market. Premium build quality, feels really great. Has, it's light, but it has that build quality weight that I like. Feels really good. And obviously, I went with the traditional silver color. I like the classic silver, but all the other colors are nice. I did see all the colors in person at the Apple store, and they're all nice. But I'm keep it classic, so I went with silver, all right? But enough of that. Let's get into the I/O, or the port selection, what people like to say nowadays. Left side, let's turn it on this left side here. So this is the left side. Nothing fancy. You have your two USB-C ports. One is USB 3 and one is USB 2. They're both USB-C, but one is faster than the other, and the one that's closer to the back, which is this one here, that's the one that you're going to connect your dongle or your external monitor to, okay? I did connect it to my full HD monitor. Looked very well. I think you can get 4K 60 frames, even higher than that, I'm not sure, but definitely 4K 60 frames per second on your external monitor if you choose to connect this to a monitor, okay? This port is USB 2, okay? So the speed's gonna be slower. You still can do your data transfer. You can still charge it, which most people are going to use it for. So this will be the one you want to charge your laptop to. And worst case scenario, you can still connect your external solid state drive and transfer data. It's just going to be at a slower speed. All right. Also, you have your headphone jack. You have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. I think that shares as a mic combo jack as well. But I'm glad they did that, because honestly, for students, they have to have headphones. And some people don't want Bluetooth headphones. Like for me, I like Bluetooth headphones, but if I'm making music production, if I'm making beats, I need to be wired. That way I don't have to deal with latency issues. So that was smart of them to give the 3.5 headphone jack. And then you have your side firing left speaker here. I like these speakers, guys. I already expected them not to sound like MacBook Pro quality, but I'm telling you guys right now, these sound better than 80% of Windows laptop speakers. Trust me, they sound really good, and I'll give you guys a test of that later in the video. All right, so that's your left side of your MacBook Neo, okay? Right side, nothing going on but your right side speaker, firing side speaker there, all right? Nothing going on but just this speaker grill here, your right side speaker. Front, typical Mac stuff on the front, okay? Got your little lift off to lift your lid up, all right? Back side, nothing much going on there. The bottom looks like any other Mac. Excuse me if I stumble over words, man, and I didn't write anything down. I'm also dealing with allergies, guys. It's springtime in the DMV area, and I got a cold on top of that. So I'm dealing with a double whammy right now, okay? I'm feeling getting better though. All right, so this is your back side. Nothing going on there, and that's it. So let's put this down nice and gentle. You can do a one-hand test. I usually like to, you can open it one hand, but I don't even know why people do these one-hand tests, but I like to do them too. I don't know why, it's a habit now. But you can't open it with one hand. But at some point, I'm gonna stop doing that. All right. So here's your Neo. Let me make sure I'm in frame here, guys. All right, I'm in frame. I look good. I put black keyboard cover over my keys to make it look more traditional. This reminds me of an older MacBook that I had, like a 2015, 2016 MacBook Pro. It gives it a classic look, except for the exposed lock key button, but I like the black keys on it, all right? But let me take that off because that's not what the Neo looks like when you first buy it. So let me take this off. If I can get my hands underneath this rubber here. All right, there we go. So this is what it looks like, right? You get white keys, and I understand why you do not get backlit keys. So at nighttime, I think these white keys will perform better in low light settings, okay? But I do like this keyboard. It feels just like any other MacBook. It feels excellent to type on. The bounce back, oh, I should be put my password in here actually. But the bounce back feels good. The key travel feels really good. I also like I said, I like the color. No backlit keys, which I understand, all right? Now, I'll say this. Why I like these keys, this color, is because if you look at any of the Air MacBooks, especially the M1s, man, for some reason the M1s, M2s look terrible. When the keyboard, when the gloss starts to fade on the keys, it makes the laptop look like very used, like it's been used a lot, right? So this keys right here might last a lot longer as far as looks wise. So I'm glad Apple decided to do that with these keys, because like I said, the M1 Air keyboards, if someone typed a lot, that gloss coating starts to look terrible, and it looks like the laptop was overused. So I'm hoping that these keys don't do that. But I will say this, I'm using the keyboard cover for two reasons. I want that classic look, and also I don't want my keys to get dingy. If you eat a lot of chips and stuff like that and you forget to wipe your hands, I can see these keys getting real dull and dingy, all right? So be mindful of that. But no complaints with the keyboard. Let me put this back over it. All right, I just like that. I like how it looks with the black keys. All right, now the touchpad, trackpad, whatever you want to call it, isn't haptic, so it physically moves, right? But I have no complaints. Apple still does a really good job with their trackpads and their touchpads, guys. Feels really good, it's really responsive, no complaints at all. Zoom, pinch to zoom works really well. I'm spitting and stuff on here. It works really well. No complaints with the touchpad or trackpad area, whatever you prefer to call it. Excellent, okay? And that's another reason they had to give us the cut corners to make this cheap. They couldn't give us all the bells and whistles that they would on the Air, because then you don't need a Neo, right? So I understand why they did that as well. So no complaints in this area at all. Very premium, very nice. Okay, let me log in here. Log in really quick here. All right. So you get a 500, let me pull this up here, 500 nit screen. It's bright enough for me. Looks really good. It doesn't get as bright as my MacBook, and that's my MacBook Pro, excuse me. That's to be expected. This is a $500 or $600 laptop, but it looks a lot better than a lot of Windows machines. I'm gonna keep comparing this to Windows, guys. If you're under 400 nits on a laptop, it looks dull to me. So I'm glad they gave us 500 nits. You should be able to use this outside. You know, not everywhere, but you can use it for the most part in certain settings outside, and you still should be able to see your see what's going on your screen. All right. Let me talk about the big thing that everybody brings up: video editing on Neos. Yes, it's very capable of video editing on the Neo. I have Final Cut Pro 20 installed on here, and I have DaVinci Resolve 20. They all work really fine. Let me launch Final Cut Pro first, because that's the one I recommend you install if you're going to video edit on here, is Final Cut Pro, just because it is optimized for the hardware. The software is optimized for the hardware, so it's going to talk to each other and work really well with each other. All right, this is a 4K video of me in Thailand a couple years ago with my wife. This is just me scrubbing. I didn't add any transitions. I didn't add any video overlays, but it scrubs really well. You can do your cuts. I recommend keeping it very light. All right, even though this says 1080, I did film this in 4K, I believe. I might have filmed it in 1080, I don't know. But anyway, if you decide to use this to do video editing, especially 4K footage, just remember, the more stuff you do, it's going to, you know, make this computer work really hard, and it doesn't really have the power, right? It doesn't have 16 gigs of RAM, it only has 8. It only has a A18 Pro chip. It doesn't have the M series chip. So be mindful of that. If you don't buy this, please do not buy the Neo if that's your sole purpose for the laptop is to video edit. Don't buy it. Like I said, you can do some light stuff in the video editing side, but just don't go too heavy with it. That's my opinion. All right, but it does work. Like I said, it scrubs through pretty well. And I can't remember if I filmed this in 1080 or 4K. I think I did 4K. I don't know. Excuse me. All right, but I recommend using Final Cut Pro if you are going to video edit on the Neo. But I'm a DaVinci Resolve guy. I like DaVinci Resolve. But you can tell the engine of DaVinci Resolve on here doesn't work as well as the Final Cut Pro. It's a slight difference. It's nothing major, but I can notice it, all right? Let's see, is it even loading the video? Let's see. See, look at that. Look at that. There it goes. You see that? So that was a prime example. If you guys saw that, it took a while for it to load. The engine on Final Cut Pro is just a lot faster. I'm not saying it doesn't work on DaVinci, because it does, but y'all saw that. When I loaded this, it took a while for the video to kick in. So, but it still scrubs pretty well. And like I said, even with DaVinci, the more you do, it's going to slow down because you only got 8 gigs of RAM and you're only rocking a A18 Pro. You're rocking a cell phone chip, right, in a laptop. But it's still doable. But just don't buy this for the sole purpose of video editing, all right? And also audio production. So I didn't install any, I usually use Ableton and Ableton Live, and I have plugins, but honestly, if you're gonna start loading a whole bunch of VST3 plugins, a whole bunch of sounds in there, like, you know, you're making a beat and you got all these different plugins loaded at once, it's going to show its weakness. So be mindful of that, all right? Okay? Let me launch, let me see here. Let me launch the speakers, man. Since I was talking so much about the speakers earlier, let me push this up a little bit. I can't even see if I'm in frame. Yeah, I'm all right. Let me launch one of these songs I did a while ago, just so you can hear the speaker quality. Let's turn it down all the way. All right. Up my room with the fresh in the bed with shoes on, hangover. You was stuck. Let me into the city on the way to BKK. Them Tacos and TJ hit a different way. The roads outside on strip, get out the girl's way. More calm and clean on Queen Elizabeth Highway. The Seaton Towers in sight with a beautiful display. All right, guys. I'm just being honest. They don't sound like my MacBook Pro, obviously, and I already expected it, but they still sound good. Apple does excellent with sound. So that's not a complaint. I be spitting a lot when I get excited. Let me wipe that off. I'll be honest with you. I've already expected the sound not to be as good as my MacBook Pro. I mean, it's a Neo, but it still sounds good, and I like where they place them. They place them on the side close to you, so it sounds good to me. I don't have any complaints. And that's a song I did. I didn't even mix the song down correctly, so, and I didn't want to get copyrighted, so I would have played like some studio quality music, but I don't want to get copyrighted. So anyway, that's the sound quality. All right. Webcam. I look a little rough right now, so I don't really want to turn the webcam on. But the webcam is the same as my MacBook Pro. Good enough to do FaceTime, good enough to do Zoom calls. That you can use it in OBS if you know, I prefer to use another camera for OBS. But if that's all you have, you can still use it with OBS, all right? No complaints with that as well. What else? What else did I want to talk about? We talked about the screen. So the screen res, you know, 500 nits, bright enough. I talked about that. And what's the resolution on here? 13-inch, obviously everybody knows that. 2408 by 1506, really good, really good. So let me end this video. I want to hold you guys too long. So the only complaint that I have, oh yeah, battery life. Apple says 16 hours. That depends on what you're doing, right? If you're using this to do video editing all day, you're not going to get 16 out of it. It depends on what you're doing. But that's what they say, 16. I think the battery life is good. I close the lid, I put it down for a second, I open it back up, use it. It'll last you all day. All right? I keep wiping this thing down because I just ate a tuna fish sandwich. And I'm spitting a lot. All right? Yeah, so my only gripe, right? My only complaint How many minutes am I talking? Yeah, 15 minutes. I'm about to end this. The only reason why I'm taking this back is because of the 8 gigs. That's it. And I'll be honest with you, I used this like a desktop and it felt just like my MacBook Pro. All right. But I already know, me being a tech guy, me being geeked out, I already know once I start to push it harder, it's going to show the 8 gigs. You understand? And like I said, I didn't buy this I bought it to test it out. I like it. I think it's well worth the money. But I know myself. I know at some point I'm going to be like, damn, I wish I had 16 gigs. I'm just being honest, guys. That's just me. 16 is we should be, in 2026, we should be starting with 16 gigs across the board. I don't care what laptop comes out. 16 gigs should be the start nowadays. But, Apple, they use the unified memory and they know how to, optimize it really well. But for me, I'm going to have to return this just because I need 16 gigs. But let me know how you feel, man. Like I said, I still think it's a great machine. It's definitely a Chromebook killer. Chromebooks are just toilet water to me. This is a Chromebook killer. I think Apple should make I think they should make more colors, honestly, because it's at this price point, it can get in more hands, especially more kids and students' hands. Make more colors. Give us like 8 more colors. I mean, not 8 more, excuse me. Give us 4 more colors to have a complete 8 different colors you can get. So 8 colors would be dope. They can give us 4 more colors. I think what's going to happen, honestly, I'm predicting this. This is going to do really well next school year. So after the summer, this fall is going to be a big Neo breakout. I think they should. I already know what they're going to do. They're going to give us a keynote and they're going to tell us, oh, the Neo Plus is coming out. The Neo Plus is going to give us the 16. The Neo Plus is going to give us the latest chip that's out at that time. And they're going to give us like a better solid state drive SSD configuration. So you might be able to get a terabyte. I already know Apple, they always do that. So be prepared for that. But for me, I'm going to take it back. Not because I don't like it. Like I said, it's a really nice machine, but I just need 16 gigs. That's just not. I need 16. I know how I am. All right. But anyway, man, let me know how you feel about the MacBook Neo below. If you like it, did you buy one? Are you getting one? Are you taking one back like me? Let me know how you feel about the Neo. Please hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel. This is Charlie Eugene signing out with the MacBook Neo. Peace. I'll box this up and take it back soon. I like it though. I do.